You can go live too, Panya. Panya's one from work.
Is Panya at the beach?
At the beach? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's at the beach. Okay, good night. Bedtime.
Oh.
It's bedtime.
You're watching TV?
You're not watching TV. It's bedtime. Can't hear you.
Unmute. Yeah. I can't hear anybody.
That's nothing about hot.
Kia ora, koutou.
Kia ora, wha.
Kia ora, darling.
You all good?
Ai, kei te pai aho.
Up, wait.
Getting a bit cold down here, though.
Yeah, I've got socks on.
I got my heat pump going. This is good. No cases.
Hey, boy, te tase, bro.
Tēnā tātou. Tīmata ki te krakea. Ka tahi ka mahi a te mahi. Rereke inoi tātou. Te mauri tapu te mauri tū. Tūrunga tapu te runga. Te mauri tū. Te mauri tapu te mauri tū. Te mauri te whiwhia, te mauri te rawea. Te mauri nōhia, te mauri nōrunga, nōrangi, nōnuku tū. Tēnei te mauri ka whakapiki, tēnei te mauri ka whakakake. Tēnei te mauri o ngā atua, tēnei te mauri o ngā tupua. Tēnei te mauri e tau ana ki runga i a tātou katoa, te tangata i tēnei wā. Te mauri o te tai ao, kia puta ki te whai ao, ki te ao mārama, haumi e hui e, a tae ki e. Tuatahi rā nei ka mihi atu ki a rātau kua whiturangitia, rātau kua wehe atu ki te pō. Ngā mate o tēnā o tātou. Kia mihia, kia tangihia, kia poroporo ake tia. Rātau ki a rātau. Haere, o te atu rā. Hoki anō ki a tātou, te hunga ora, te hunga morehu, te hunga e kawe tonu i ngā tikanga akoro mā kui mā nei ka mihi atu ki a koutou katoa. Ko tai, mene mai, rorohiko mai, waiapu koro mai, ki tēnei o ngā huihuinga zui. Nei te mihi atu ki a koutou katoa, ko whai wāhi nei ki tēnei o ngā papo, o ngā uri o ngā te whātua. Nō reira, huri no tēnā tātou katoa. Tukuna te rākau ki a Anthony. Tēnā koe mara.
Kia ora tātou whānau, ko tonu ki te wā, kia tuku atu tātou zui I tēnei pō. Nō reira kia tauturangi Māori, kia tātou kia tō. Lovely to see everyone again tonight. I think we'll get straight into it, bro. Everyone knows the drill. Boyd's going to do the update, the Hauora update, and I'll do an update from the Runanga, and then we'll answer questions. So yeah, hand it back to you, my bro.
Unmute. Oh, tēnā tātou. Yeah, nice to see everyone that we can see and those that we can't. Tēnā tātou. So at the moment, currently, hopefully you're all aware that we've done really very well as a country in combating the coronavirus, the COVID-19. There's been about 5 days, I think, where there's been no further new cases. And the cases before that have all been able to be traced, so we know where they're coming from. There's no cases that are coming from unknown sources. So the government and ourselves, we've been doing testing amongst our communities with whānau who have no symptoms, asymptomatic whānau, and not just us, but many Māori providers throughout Te Tai Tokerau, throughout Aotearoa whānau have been doing testing of whānau that just wanted to get tests. We did it for a couple of reasons: to bump up the number of Māori who had been tested, to ensure that there was no community transfer occurring, and also to ease some anxiety amongst some of our whānau. So some of our whānau might have been worried that they had it, and so there was a little bit of that that we catered to as well. So there's been no community transfer, so that the government's quite confident of that there's no community transfer occurring. That is, that there's no cases that they don't know where they're coming from. And all the cases that have come up in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, they've all been able to trace where that's come from. So that's a real good thing, and it's been costly. There's been jobs lost, and the economy is going to have a real challenge going forward, and our employment will be a real challenge to combat the unemployment rates that are expected to occur. But as far as the virus goes, and Māori have led the way on that, and whānau have led the way on that. Te Hara has done a lot of work, but we've also had a lot of support from whānau who are unpaid. And so we're trying to make a tally of the actual investment that Māori have done. And so we're making sure that we can try and gauge what we've done and how we've done it, and just, put some value to that, so that the people who fund health organisations understand what a huge effort Māori did over these last, 8 to 9 weeks now. So well done, everyone, and well done to all those that on here that have volunteered and helped, and all the marae and whānau and hapu and iwi, puta no I te rohe o Ngāti Whātua, I hāpai tia tēnei o ngā kaupapa, ko te oranga tonu o Ngāti Whātua. So thank you all very much. Now, on Friday, 11:59 a.m. in the morning, so it's a little bit of a change. There's some changes to the level 2 that allows for groups of 100. So the bubbles can be extended to 100 people at a time. There's no longer a requirement for huimate or tangihanga to register with the government, which was a real condescending situation in the first place. Considering Māori were the very best, we've had the most days without cases, and we looked after our whānau and we understood social distancing. So that's been lifted. 100 people per bubble is the requirement. And that also allows for different sporting opportunities and other communal gatherings to start occurring. Whānau can finally have a barbecue, have a hangi, have a little bit of a get together, because it's been a really tough time. And it gives us all an opportunity to actually check up on our people that need to be checked up on face to face. So we don't have to rely on Zoom like this going forward from Friday. So that's from noon on Friday afternoon. Up until then, the bubbles remain at 10. People are still expected to keep bubbles of 10. So there's sporting interactions going on. So if you've got sports clubs in your area that are going to start opening up, please can you email us, and I'll put my email again on the side. Please can you email us to ask if because we'll be able to send some hygiene packs. That's the, what's that stuff called? I always forget the name, the disinfectant hand stuff, sanitizer. So we've got some sanitizer that we can send and help our clubs be prepared and look after everyone that comes into those clubs, into that sporting environment. And it doesn't matter if they've got 10 or 20 teams, let us know, because we do have some stock of those sanitizers available. I've already just dropped some off to some of the sporting clubs out West Auckland. we are prepared to continue supporting our whānau in really tough times. We are trying to look at a supply of blankets. If whānau are in desperate need of blankets, we're trying to organise a supply of that if we can. We are preparing to have modest support available, well, a small budget that we are putting aside to have food available for the coming months, for the next couple of months. And just, we know there's going to be some really tough times. Plus there's our normal whānau order support that's available throughout the rohe of Ngāti Whātua. And that's from us, from Te Puna Hauora, from Morake, from Waipareira and Henderson, and from Tūreo as well. And those that are closer to the Waipau end, we can also budge off Tunanga o Ngāpuhi. So we're trying to stay as prepared as we can, because what's happened as a result of the borders being locked down and people staying at home is that currently at the moment there's also lower rates of influenza amongst our whānau. And that's a real good sign, because Māori, we die about 3 times more than any other population in this country during the winter. And you all know, Matariki is when we send off so many of our whānau, and we really want to make sure that this year those whānau we're sending off are not dying because of the flu, because that should not be happening in this country with for our people. There's also some kōrero around the rheumatic fever if you've got whānau, and we're trying to get the message out, but we're waiting on some guidance from the ministry and the district health boards around how we swab or cannot swab at the moment to test rangatahi tamariki for rheumatic fever. But we really want to keep on top of that. So we're just encouraging everyone that if their child has a sore throat, please take them to the doctor or contact us. We might be able to find out another option. If we're able to, we will come out to you. For anything else from the health, I'll just double check if I've got any further updates. As I said, there's about 21 cases in the entire New Zealand at the moment. Sadly, about 17 of those are within the rohe of Ngāti Whātua, so Tāmaki, Manukau, Tāmaki, Waitemata and Te Taitokerau. Te Taitokerau has none at the moment, no active cases, but Waitemata, Tāmaki and Manukau still do. Māori, as I said, Māori have done very well. We've stayed at 126 cases total for a very long time now. We also, like I said, we've got hygiene packs. We are trying to keep our whānau warm, as I said, with blankets, firewood that we are happy to support with. Probably that's all I've got from the health. Oh, no, that's about it. We are trying to continue making phone calls. So if you've got kaumātua or anybody who would really benefit and appreciate a phone call, please do send their details to us, because we really want to keep that connection up. Whānau who are still, there will be still some whānau who might be a little bit intimidated to come out of their house and will stay in isolation. So we want to ensure that if that happens, then we're able to make a phone call and get in touch with them. And sometimes that's all it will need to offer them a bit of comfort. We will still continue with our mobile swabbing teams, but they will only be by referral. So if you think you've got symptoms, phone the health line, and the health line will refer you. If you're within our area, we'll be able to go and do some testing at the house, or they can come to visit us at the different sites. I think that is about it for the update at this stage. We are hopefully going to have some more resource in the coming year for the mental health especially. We realise that many of our whānau will be experiencing tough times. So we're hoping to get some more resource for that. We currently don't have much given the size of our population and the spread that we cover. And so we're looking forward to have greater conversations around that so we can provide greater support. I'll quickly hand over to Ants now, because I'm pretty sure I've wasted everyone's 15 minutes. I'll just hand you back to Anthony, because I think that's all the updates I've got for now around our Hauora response. There's a whole lot of education and business responses that we're trying to do. Oh, sorry, quickly. We are trying, because this COVID has offered us the opportunity to focus on the determinants, the housing, the education, the employment. We are looking to do that in a more planned way in the future going forward in the next few years immediately, and then longer term plan after that. So we want, at the moment, we are supporting education, we are supporting employment, and we are supporting housing, but it's in a real opportunistic and ad hoc manner. And we want to make sure that we have a planned approach to all these things so we can look after Ngāti Whātua properly, rather than just rely on 3-month contracts, 1-year contracts, etc., etc. So that will do for now, I think. If there's any questions, pop them in the side and Anthony will answer all my questions. Oh, we need to be a little bit quicker tonight because Anthony didn't take his phone charger with him, so his phone's going flat. I'll pass you back to Anthony so he can be as quick as possible.
Hey, yeah, thanks for that, Boyd. Yeah, I'm up in Arapau tonight, so the reception's actually really good. But I've been kicked out to the outside batch because the kids are too noisy. So I will make this as quick as possible. The first thing is, next week, we're going to have a pre-recorded online update. So I spoke last week about, having fortnightly Zui Hauora forums. So next week, instead of this online forum, we're going to put up a pre-recorded Boyd talking about how wonderful he is, and then I'll finish off with how wonderful he should have been. But basically, every alternate week will come on live like this, and then the other week we'll have a pre-recorded session. Again, still more informative, so you're in the loop with what, not just with what Te Ha's up to, but the other organisations we work with, and the Runanga. There's a strategy being put in place to make sure that when we come to post-COVID-19, we need to be action ready. At the moment, we're still liaising and talking with a lot of organisations about the shovel-ready initiatives and some of the business initiatives that we're working on. We've got a new business manager that's going to be taking over as well, and he'll be reorganising things and putting some key plans and strats in place that we can follow through on. So he's going to come on board live probably in another 2 weeks, and that's by design. So next week there'll be a pre-recorded update, and again you can still ask questions. The week after that will coincide with the 8th of June. The 8th of June is important because that's when the government will announce the protocols leading into level 1 COVID-19. And as Boyd said, L1 C19 is going to go into effect more than likely on the 22nd of June. So we're going to align these forums so we're in line with that, and we're able to get information out to everyone as quickly as possible. On top of that, we've got the shovel ready, the back-end initiatives, plus supporting Marae, and just getting things in order. So we've got some consistency going through to post C19. So I'm hopefully everyone's up to play with that. And as we go along, we'll keep the updates going. It's really important, I think, to let everyone know. Boyd touched on it tonight. Te Hauora is a contract entity. So everything they do is by contract. What we would like to do, and what every iwi Hauora entity or iwi service entity would like to do, is be its own entity, have its own funding, so it's not guided or, constrained by Crown contracts. One day we'll get there, but for now we have to do what we have to do because that's how we are and we're in that position to do it. This leads me on to, the expansion or the maintaining of service to our whānau. It's definitely in the Runanga's best interest to make sure that we keep the service level at a high standard and we have consistency. I think in the past we were a little complacent and just letting things happen, but now everything is programmed, and anything we do, there's a methodology to it and there's a purpose. So, just to reassure whānau that we're not just going to stop when C19 stops and that's it. That's the old organisations. The plan for not just Te Ha but the Runanga is to go through till the end of the year with C19 duties, and then for the next 2 years to make sure that there's a recovery plan in place. So that's the first thing, just to reassure everybody. The second thing is to make sure that we get the right information, not just going to whānau, to you guys, but coming back. Because I know I harp on all the time, but you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And there are less and less gaps that we're having to fill, but there's still gaps. And one of the key things that Boyd has been tasked with is to make sure that we've covered at least 90% of coverage for our services to our whānau within the rohe. The 10% we can't cover, maybe beyond our control, or whānau just, are happy how they are. And that's cool, that's fine. But we need to make sure that we've done the best job that we've, been able to do to get to where we need to be. Finally, I think you'd all agree it's been a long journey. And, I was in Dargaville today just talking to whānau who have received services or been helping out. And it's really cool to see that it's reciprocal. So there's a lot of whānau just helping out and doing things themselves, even if it's just ringing up and seeing how each other are. I think we talked about in the past, pulling the staffing back another couple of steps, and that's going to happen again soon. What you're going to start to see is through the runanga and te hā, we're going to start engaging community groups and key community people in each area to start not so much managing, but interacting more with their communities and having a more active role. They're going to be resourced by Boyd, not by me, but by Boyd. And to make sure that, the kaipeks still go out to whānau. It may not be a te hā person, but it'll be whānau who are in your area helping to deliver kaipeks, hygiene packs. And that's in order to make sure we can get our te hā staff back another couple of steps to give them a bit of a break, because soon they're going to be going into their BAU roles. And at the same time, we want to maintain a higher level of COVID or C19 delivery. In order to do that, we need to start using community groups and key people in their key areas. So that's starting to work now. And you would notice there's still our service providers on the road interacting and delivering, but you'll start to see other people doing it as well. Not that they aren't already. So, just be aware. And if there's ever any questions, by all means, contact Boyd, but it's boyd@tehauoranga.co.nz. Don't try to call me, I'll probably get back to you within 3 days. So that's what's happening at that level. At the iwi level as well, we're working with other iwi to see how we can collaborate and combine together. There'll be a bit more information at the Marae Hauora forum tomorrow night about marae support through the PGF fund, the 1 Billion Trees initiative, the Spark initiative, the Marae Zoom project, and also the tangihanga support as well. So there's a lot of things happening at the same time, but tonight's more about whānau and our whānau units, and just reassuring that we are there. And if you do need help, by all means, ring the 0800 Mai Te Hā or contact your nearest service provider. Remembering we're working with Te Roroa, Te Uri o Hau, the South Kaipara Collective, and Orake. So we're all tapped in together in Tamaki. Boyd's also tapped into Waipareira or Te Whanau Waipareira, Te Puna Hauora, and all of the other Māori entities that I just can't seem the name at the moment. And together we're doing it as one, kia kotahi tātou. So that's it from me tonight. Pretty straightforward. If you've got questions, we're going to start answering questions now. And then, we'll get back into it, Boyd.
Doesn't look like there's just a question for you. Hope you answered from Georgina. Oh, you did.
Yeah. So Joey, I'll send an email and we'll touch base tomorrow. So Kate Pai, really keen to get that moving. We're doing some work with other organisations as well. So it'll be good to hub it and then to start making sure we pass on opportunities back to marae and back to whānau as well. So Kate Pai.
Also, I did forget to mention that we are going to have people from the South Kaipara, from Helensville and Warkworth, from the WINS offices, liaising with us so that we can properly support our whānau to ensure that those that are on benefits or going on to benefits in the future and get everything they are entitled to. And also, I think the main thing I want from them is that they treat us with a lot more dignity and respect that they have previously. So we've got some liaisons from those officers that I'll be speaking with. I've been playing phone tag with them today, but I'll have a conversation with them tomorrow. And so again, if you know whānau that are having to go to WINS, our staff are trying to make contact with as many whānau as possible. But if you know anyone that needs support around their WINS applications or anything to do with that, we'll have some liaisons in those offices. I'm trying to arrange for the same thing in the north if I can, but I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So that was the other thing I forgot to update on. That looks like no other questions.
Yeah, and just to support Boyd with that, we have noticed at the Runanga level there have been whānau who've had jobs and they've lost their jobs as a result of C-19. And some of the WINS officers have been unhelpful. So we're making sure that we need to, well, as an iwi, our hapu, as whānau, we need to make sure that, through no fault of their own, they're actually entitled to service and, to grants and to access to assistance. And sometimes I think reading some of the feedback on the reports, a lot of unhelpfulness at the sites. So it's really cool that Boyd's got that connection with the key sites, Dargaville, Warkworth and Helensville especially, to make sure that, when whānau go in, they're treated with dignity, respect and with mana. So just wanted to support that and highlight that. And if you do, or any of your whānau have issues going into any of those WIN sites, to please let us know, because we've got an agreement with the Crown, and the Crown has a duty and obligation to Māori. And sometimes I think we forget that, or, it's put by the wayside, but during C-19 and what we're currently going through, we will be making them responsible and proactively, employing that they do, make sure they do what they do when they should be doing it. Is that us, bro?
Yeah, that's us for now. Yeah, that's us for we can answer questions throughout the week. We are sometimes a little bit slow, but really do email if there's any other questions that we can try and help with. And we've got a really good team. I'm just the face of it. We've got some really good workers up and down the rohe of Ngāti Whātua. So please, any questions, get in touch with us.
Cool. Okay, then, bro. Next week, we'll just have an update that's pre-recorded. The week after that, we will be doing a follow-up from the 8th of June Crown update and going through what level 1 looks like and protocols for level 1. And we will have the hapu and PhDs on board as well to do their updates. So just a precursor for, next week and the week after. Kia ora tātou.
Thank you, bro.
Kia noi tātou. Te whakimutunga te hui tēnei rā, tēnei pō, nō reira kia tauterangi Māori kia tātou kia tō. Ai te māngai, e ngā pono, he te tukutori tapu, kia tatu mano katu kei wainganui, he tātari ngā kupu katoa. Me whakaatinga mai o tātou matua nei te rangi, te matua te tama, te wairua tapu, me ngāne hira pono, me te māngai ai. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora.
Māori e.
Hō Māori e whānau.